Anything called Chaa, well, it's just gotta be cool. So it's retro, it's modern, and it's got tons of sleeping and seating. So if you want to travel with more than just a few people, but you want a small trailer, you gotta stick around and see the Chaa, because we're gonna show you how to travel in style. Hey everybody, I'm PJ from Princess Craft RV, and this is the Chaa. Okay, technically it's the Retro R186, but the nickname is Chaa, so that's just what we're gonna call it. And it's got that retro vibe. If you don't love this color, there's lots of choices. You can get red, black, or maybe a turquoise or a yellow, which is my favorite. I don't know, I love the way it pops. The trailer is the next to largest in their lineup of retros. There is one slightly bigger, but this one has great seating and great sleeping if you want to bring a few people along with you. And a walk-around bed, I mean, it's really well designed, very compact, only 3,380 pounds. So, super lightweight, 23 foot long, total length including the tongue. So it's compact, modern, cool styling, and the inside, well, you can go retro or not. That's up to you. So there's a lot to look at here. We're gonna head inside and show you around. The standard retro is gonna come with this wonderful vintage interior. It's gonna have the knotty pine on the walls and the cabinets. You've got a checkered floor and all of this vintage treatment on the seating. So if you love the vintage style, this will really work for you. Now, if you don't and you wanted something a little more modern, you can get the light oak cabinets. So they're really a different look, and the floor can be a standard wood plank style floor. So you get a nice warm feeling on the inside, still a little bit of retro in the cushions, but not quite so much of a cabiny look. Either way, it's a nice layout. It feels very open. You'll love it. Let's start right here with the bed behind me. Now this is an RV queen. It is a two-sided, I still call it a walk-around bed, but okay, is probably edging it a bit. This is going to be the RV queen, so it's 60 inches wide, 74 inches long, but as I always note when you have a little bit of a short bed, you know, there's space on the end. They just want to be sure that you can get past here, because getting in and out in the middle of the night, if you're on the inside, super important. And when you get a little bit of space right here, it makes it much easier to kind of scoot out the bottom and go out the corner. If it was a wall here, then it is total crawl over bed. Some people have an issue with that, so that's why they did it this way. That's why this is 74 inches and not the full length. All right, let's look at storage up here. Always important. You've got a shirt closet, pretty tall for shirt closets. I've seen a lot shorter. If you like shelves, of course, that's an option. And I love the way they finish out the inside with the wallboard, so it's kind of knotty pine on the inside. Kind of cool. You do have this angled roof right here, and that's the outside design of this trailer. I think it's just styling. I'm not sure that it actually does anything except for style it a bit different. It was something that they did in the trailers in the 50s and 60s, probably for storage or some other design feature, but I think it works just fine with the bed here, and you have no chance of hitting your head, so not a problem there. Now inside these cabinets, of course, they're open all the way down. They're about a foot deep. They are on the angle, of course, so you don't get that full height, but a fair amount of storage up here. I mean, when you're camping, that works great. All of the clothes can fit right there. Now you do have this one side table over here. Now over on the far side, you have a 110 plug and the 2 USB ports. CPAP machine, that's always the question. Well, you probably don't want to lay it on the bed with you, but open a cabinet, set it right up there, plug it in, and you're good to go. So that problem is easily solved. You do have windows on both sides so you can get a nice breeze coming through here. That makes a difference when you're camping. You may not want the air conditioner on at night, so you can get a lot of airflow right there where you're sleeping. The bedside table here, and then you have drawers underneath. So, storage, this design is a winner. Let's take a peek under here, because you open these up. These are no wimpy drawers. See how that feels? This is not going to come apart going down the road. Very impressed with that. They're about 4 inches deep and nice soft close on them, and you've got 6 drawers all the way across. You do have a little cabinet on the end as well. It's just well done, tons of storage, and you don't have to lift up the bed. It's all right underneath. So again, that's a vintage style as well, and a great use of space. So I'm really glad they included that and didn't make it something that was easier to build, because functionality matters, especially when you're looking at storage. Now let's look at the seating, because seating over here is super comfy and really stylish. Now this inside color is going to match whatever your outside stripe is, so keep that in mind. And nice seating. You've got the trim around the table so it looks very vintage. And this is actually 6 feet long. It's 3 feet wide, so if you have an adult that's under 6 feet, they might fit right here and have a very comfortable sleep. You know, big windows, that's a plus. And you've also got a pleated pull-down shade. I gotta grab it with my fingers, pull it down. Look at that. You're gonna have nice blackout all the way around this trailer. Push that right up, because we love the outside light. Right above me, you'll see we have an air conditioner. And this is super nice. They use the one that's quiet, easy to control right there on the AC. You're going to have a big open space here, so it's going to cool really well. Now, the AC is going to keep you super cool, and in the construction, there is a foil wrap around this, so that's really going to help with insulation. The seating across the way, well, it's a really nice, comfortable sofa. I really like sofas in a small trailer because dinettes feel very structured. And this is a great casual place to just relax. And, you know, I could talk to somebody while they're cooking. I may not want to cook, but I will always be glad to talk to them while they do the work. I'm a terrible cook. Did you guys know that? Ugh. And this makes into another sleeping area. Okay, it's only 54 inches long. So fine for me. I could bend my knees a little bit and do fine, but great for kids. And when you open it up, it's 41 inches wide. So wider than the dinette, just not as long. So maybe 2 kids and an adult. Sounds perfect to me. So if you have to take the gang camping, you've got options. All right, let's talk about the storage up above, because above the sofa, you've got these nice 2 cabinets. Again, they're a foot deep. These are very tall. These are cereal box tall. And I just give that as a point of reference because, yeah, that's what I look for. So I don't know. If you look for something different, let me know. I'd love a different reference. And over here, again, cabinets as well. They're open all the way down. So you've got lots of upper storage. And when it's only 12 inches deep, you may say, well, why don't they make them bigger? Well, the upper visual is how they make this space feel good. So having them only 12 inches deep is really preferable. And then you get more view of the window. You don't have as much in your line of sight. So it's a design thing, but still plenty of storage. Now, I forgot to show you here, so I'm going to jump around. Sorry. I'm going to show you how this opens up. It's a jackknife sofa. Easy to do. Just lift this up, lay it down, and there's your other sleeping area. And then when you're done, lift it up, pull it back, and there you go. You know, if you're really spending the afternoon in here, it's raining outside or whatever the reason, you could open it up, put a few big pillows in the back, and you've got a nice lounger. I don't know. make it work for you, right? Kitchen right over here. It's a rear corner kitchen, which I'm usually not a fan of, but this one feels great. You've got the microwave up top, hood vent here, 3-burner glass top stove, doesn't feel like a tiny space saver. And so you've got a full stove here and an oven. That's why I say they really put all the comfortable features in here. They didn't skimp, even though it's a smaller compact trailer. Moving over, there's always the question, countertop or a bigger sink? This one has what I consider to be a little bit of both. Now the countertop you have is back in the corner, so it's not as useful for prep. But you do have a table right there, and you can put this nice cutting board style top on the sink and use this. So then a full countertop back there, plenty of room for my coffee pot, plenty of room for that toaster oven that you just love to take with you, or maybe just those grab and go things can live right there on the countertop. You've got the 110 plug here, the nice lights under the cabinets. Of course, there's another light right under here. It may be hard to see because it's bright outside, but you've got plenty of space here. Let's look at the storage. Up here, these cabinets are deeper. So that's about 15, maybe 18 inches deep here. You do have a 110 plug at the very top of this cabinet. Now that's going to be by design because that is where the microwave plugs in. When you have a microwave in an RV, you have to be able to reach the plug to unplug it quickly. But if you had something else that you'd like to plug in up there, and maybe a coffee grinder or something, you notice a theme here, you could plug it in up there and just leave it sitting on the shelf and just pull it down when you needed it and put it right back. Now, most of you probably won't have something like that, but just so you know, that plug is there and it's possible. All right, you've got these cabinets running all the way around, and it's a little hard to get to back here, but you do have access on the very back. All one cabinet, so yeah, you know, you just got to reach back there and remember what's in it because that one's going to be hard to really access on a regular basis. Down below, one of my favorite things, a great drawer, again, 4 inches deep. And they didn't skimp on this. I mean, this is a long drawer. So you've got that. And then right here, instead of just having one big open cabinet, they've got a pull out here. Look what they did. It is so sweet. You've got a bar where you put right in here your paper towels, because who doesn't travel with paper towels? I don't know, not me. And then you've got an open space behind it. These drawers are so well done. It's very impressive. Down below, the trash can you've always wondered where to put. And they put it on a roller in here. So that's brilliant. There's a little space back here. Maybe that's where you keep all the plastic bags that you're going to be using here. I don't know. That's what I would do with it. There is one thing. It's a little different to grab and pull out. So I might add a little knob on both sides so you'd have something to grab onto. Otherwise, I just have to grab the trash can and pull it out. I'm not sure I want to do that all the time. So I'll talk to them about that. They need some place to grab to make this perfect. You've got a little bit of an indentation here with about a 3-inch lip on it, so that's obviously a spice rack. Yeah, you're going to have to get down a little lower to see what's in it, but you can manage that. You're a camper. And down here, open the cabinet door, and you've got a great space under here. So, storage underneath. Love the trash can and the pull-out drawer. So, yeah, very well designed. Now, right behind me is the refrigerator. This guy, they didn't skimp. They gave you a full-size refrigerator. Nice 12-volt unit here. You know, shelves, crisper drawers. This feels so residential. And then up at the top, you've got a nice freezer space. So a 10.7 cubic foot refrigerator in this trailer. Love that. Now you've got a nice lock there. And if you're wondering what this is so the bathroom doorknob doesn't hit and dent your refrigerator. So, I mean, it's a small trailer, so things kind of run into each other sometimes. But now, the back corner over here is going to be the bathroom. Let's take a look. First question in a trailer this size is going to be storage. And right here next to the toilet, 3 huge storage bins. Now, they don't have doors on them because when you put doors on them, it makes it a little tricky. They're always in the way. How do you open them? And so they used open bins. I think I probably would use a couple of pressure rods maybe to hold things in, not quite sure, but a great space to put stack of towels. Maybe you keep all of your bathroom things in one of those little baggy things. What do they call them? Storage bags. And you can set that out because I'm not sure it's going to travel very well sitting here unless you have it contained somehow. You know, we're all used to traveling with bins. So maybe you have bins in here that work, but it's open so you can set it up the way it works for you. That's the best thing. Toilet, not a lot of side space, but plenty of knee room. Now the sink area, they have a nice size sink. Now it's not too big, but it's not one of those tiny ones. And you've got a little bit of countertop all the way around. Maybe for a toothbrush holder or something like that. Now the medicine cabinet up here, which also has the mirror on the front, has the 2 small shelves and one in the middle. It's a magnet catch, so it's gonna stay closed going down the road. That's important. And the 110 is right here behind the sink. Kind of a weird place to put it, but I guess it works. A little bit on the side would have been nice, but maybe there's a reason they can't do that. You know, most things have a reason when it's not exactly what you would expect. Now down below, you've got 2 shelves. The top one, of course, does have some of the plumbing right in the middle, but space down below and up above with only a minimal amount of water lines to work around. I would rather have the space and be able to gently work around it than not have the space at all. The shower, well, you've got a nice rectangular shower here. You do have 3 sides molded, so you don't have to worry about caulking in the corners. And let's talk about height, because on the floor here, you are 6'10" to the ceiling. That's part of the reason this feels so great. But you're going to lose 2 or 3 of those inches. So only about 6'7" when you step into the shower. But you've got a nice skylight at the top, a nice handheld on the wall. I mean, it certainly works. Standard in the retros is going to be a fantastic fan in the bathroom. There is an option to add a second one right out here in the living area. So if that's important to you, just add it. Super easy to do at the dealership as well, by the way, but it is an option from the factory. Now there are just a few other options, and one of them is a gas electric DSI water heater. Standard is going to be a 6-gallon gas water heater. Works great, no problem, just push the button, it comes on. But if you wanted electric as well, that's an option you can add. Now I mentioned the foil insulation. That's going to be an option, but you will always find it at the trailers at Princess Craft, and you'll almost always find it on any trailer out there in the wild. The other thing I want to mention is that you can add a 190-watt solar panel. If that's important to you, or to have a little more power if you're camping off the grid, you can add a 190-watt to the already 100-watt solar panel that's standard. So pretty easy to do. Those are the options. Pretty much all of the appliances, everything else that we've talked about besides interior and exterior colors, it's going to be standard. I love that. You don't have to build your own trailer, just a few choices. Now to control the standard features and some of these options, you've got a control panel right here at the door. At the top, that's your solar controller, so it's going to tell you if the solar panels are charging the batteries and what kind of power you have left. Down below, you have, of course, your black, fresh, and gray tank monitor. It will also give you battery reads. And that is going to be for the 35-gallon fresh, 43-gallon gray, and 30-gallon black. plenty of water tanks on this guy. And you've got the water pump, the water heater for gas and electric. This one happens to have the gas electric option on it. And then down below you've got lights. All the lights inside and outside controlled right here. You've also got a 14-foot power awning on the outside that controls off this panel. So everything right here at your fingertips, except for, of course, the furnace control, and that's going to be right outside the bathroom there. So, yeah, great design, everything you need, none of the fluff, but a great open retro feel. Let's go outside, more to see. You've got the sturdy fold-in steps, always a favorite of mine. Nice handrail. 110 plug right here for under that 14-foot awning. But something a little different is going to be the wheel covers here. It just gives it that really cool retro look, and underneath the baby moon hubcaps. Let's talk about the windows, because that's a little different. So these windows are going to be Airlight. That is a brand of windows that makes it acrylic, but maybe not the acrylic windows you're used to, because these are very scratch resistant and extremely tough. So not only are they lighter, but they're going to give you lots and lots of beautiful views without the hassle of scratching and worrying about them. Now down here, the water heater and the furnace outlets. Did you notice the cool lights they have? They have these wonderful round lights. They are LEDs, and then the covered lights that were popular back in the 50s and 60s. The spare tire bolts right on the back, and of course you can use your bumper to hold the sewer hose. Love that. Now this is our battery pack that we use to power the camper. It does not come with it. And right around here is where you will have your sewer outlet. So right down here, you'll hook up, and you've got a gray and a black handle right next to it. The outside shower, hot and cold, right at your fingertips for outside use. And over here, you've got your city water connection, the fill for that tank, and the black tank flush. That is a nice setup. You don't have dotted things all over the camper. So yeah, it's a very clean look. Another 110 plug right over here, and right back here is the connection in case you have cable or maybe a portable satellite. There is a pass-through storage that goes all the way through right here. So you can see that you've got all this outside storage. Usually with a trailer this size, they have to put that storage inside, but you've got a great combination of both inside and outside storage here. Now the electric jack is going to be standard, and they use a nice heavy plastic cover on here, and all you do is, see, this one is not undone, so it'll take me a minute. You just unscrew this and open it up, and you can reach in. Let's see if I can get it. And you just reach in to turn on and off your propane tanks while they stay completely covered. Just lift it off whenever you want to change those tanks. It's super easy. You've got a disconnect right over here on the end, so yeah, when you put it in storage, that's when you want to turn on the battery disconnect so those batteries don't get run down by little small LED lights. Electric jack, as I mentioned, all standard, don't have to add anything. And we're back around to the other side of that pass-through storage. That 14-foot awning, it's all power. You just push a button, opens up, and you've got a great outside space. So many things to love about this model, the Chaa, that is part of the retro line by Sunset Park RV. So, yeah, what's your style? What color would you pick? What interior do you like? And maybe you want extra solar or a gas electric water heater, but those are all the choices that you need to make, and then you've got the perfect retro for you. I'm PJ with Princess Craft RV, and I love showing off these trailers, and hope to see you next time.